Voodoo Whiskey Gaming, and this is my 2017 wrap-up. Basically, I'm going to go over my top games of the year, my worst games of the year, and the most disappointing games of the year. And I want it to be known before I really get into it that, yes, I have played some games that I definitely enjoyed and definitely recommended this year, but this is the games that just truly blew me away. No, it's not a top 10 list. These are just the ones that really blew me away. I've also played some crap games this year, and again, this may not necessarily be all of them, but it is some of them. As for the disappointment games, those are judged on all sorts of things, whether I was just excited for them when they came out and they disappointed me, or over time they disappointed me. And like everything else, this is purely based on my own opinion. Just so you know, like I said, based on my opinion, I'm not going to go super in-depth with any of these, so if you do want a super in-depth version, in the description down below, I will include links to all of my reviews of these games. Let's start with the worst. The worst for me has to be, or at least one of, Outlast. Outlast 2 specifically, man, I was honestly hoping that it was going to be better, it was going to be something else than Outlast 1, and it just wasn't. It was a lot of the same, but with like less shit that made sense in my opinion. I mean, admittedly, this is a purely personal thing, the whole not fighting back. I just can't cope with that. I mean, at least Outlast 1 did a better job of explaining it than Outlast 2. The second one that was just, pure trash, wasn't even really a disappointment. I mean, I was kind of interested in what this game was gonna be. A lot of the stuff coming up for it, like, made me pretty excited, but get even. A lot of the early stuff, promotional materials, cutscenes, supposed cutscenes anyways, made me really excited. It looked hyper-realistic, it looked very interesting, and then what it was just a steaming pile of shit. The controls were garbage, the graphics were garbage. I mean, just what wasn't garbage in this game? The story was vaguely interesting, but I mean, it wasn't complete garbage, but it sure as shit wasn't good or enough to keep me really going on this game. Let's work our way to better things by going into my disappointed category. And I'll just hit the first and biggest one. It's gotta be Need for Speed, because, oh man. So I'm using it kind of to bridge the gap from my worst games of the year to my most disappointing games of the year, because it's kind of both. I liked the Need for Speed before this, so I was really excited for this game. The same company was making it. They had made such a good game before, and this game was just, dumpster fire. I love a good arcade racing game. I don't really play the hyper-realistic ones, so I was hoping for another good Need for Speed game, and this absolutely was the complete opposite of that. Next up is Oxenfree. Fun little indie game, honestly, really interesting story, and for me, it's the ending. The ending just comes around and shits on everything I was loving about this game. And I say that because it's exactly the ending I was expecting it to be. It was 100% what I was expecting to happen at the end, and that just truly disappointed me. Because I really didn't know what to expect when I went into this game. I didn't really expect what was going on when I was playing the game. So to have an ending that was 100% what I expected, kind of boring for an ending. Then let's just rip the band-aid off as if we haven't already, but Mass Effect Andromeda. From a mechanical standpoint, it's a pretty solid game, but from a graphical and storytelling standpoint, wow. It just was kind of a letdown and didn't live up to the pedigree of the past. Which, that having been said, no, I was not expecting it to be quite on par with Mass Effect 1, 2, or 3, but I was expecting more than what they delivered. And while I'm not going to say I loathed playing it, I definitely didn't recommend it, and so it's definitely a disappointment. Then lastly, For Honor. Man, I was really hoping to love For Honor, and when I was first playing it, I really enjoyed it. And I noticed, though, that there wasn't a ton of content, and unfortunately that continued throughout the game's lifespan this year. I really think Ubisoft needs to cut this bullshit with their purely multiplayer games. I know it's not purely multiplayer, but the main focus is. And the problem is they don't deliver enough content. I'm personally not a big fan of the 100% multiplayer games, because I just need more content than what they generally provide, and this is a great example of that. While I enjoy the mechanics, I enjoy the gameplay, I honestly enjoy playing the game, at the end of the day, it can't continue to provide me enough new content to make me interested still. So let's jump into my favorite games of 2017. Definitely the best games of 2017 in my opinion anyways. And in no particular order, but we will start off with Nioh. I was really impressed with Nioh. It had a very much Bloodborne, Dark Souls vibe, and you could really balance your character to be either style of gameplay, because those are two games that have very unique styles. And to have a good samurai game, once again, there's not a ton of samurai games out there that I enjoy. There haven't been for many years. So to have another good samurai game, yes. Thank you. Next up, I really wasn't expecting it, and I like what the company is doing with their small AAA titles, essentially, but Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. While the gameplay was fairly rudimentary, the story itself and the graphics, that merger, as well as, and I can't say this enough, the audio, all of that together, fantastic. It provided an amazing and unique experience. Lastly, and easy for me, not even a remote challenge to pick this game, Horizon Zero Dawn. Beautiful graphics, beautiful world, amazing audio, fantastic gameplay, and an amazing story with an incredibly interesting lead character. And a truly unique world. I can't say enough good things about Horizon Zero Dawn. If I did have to pick a favorite game of the year, just number one, Horizon Zero Dawn would be that for me. And I'm fully aware that there are other great games that have come out this year. I've heard nothing but good things about Breath of the Wild, but I don't really play a lot of Nintendo, so I can't comment on that. I know there are games that people will disagree with me on, but hey, fair enough. This is just my list, and it's not necessarily a top 10 or anything, it's just my picks. Like I said, I'll have the links to my full reviews down in the description below. So have a good new year. And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. And if you like what I'm doing in general, share or subscribe. Have a good one.